First time at the mall, just the two of us. See how this goes. Woohoo! Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to CP Mom and Daughter. I'm so glad you're here. On this channel, we talk about all things related to cerebral palsy and disability and challenges that come with having cerebral palsy or just a disability in general. So let's jump right into it. So today we had something really exciting and good happen, but it also came with its challenges. What happened today was Miss D and I both got haircuts. This was Miss D's first professional haircut. So I'll take you along on what happened today. So we decided that Miss D was going to get a haircut this morning. And she's had haircuts before, but they've just been done by like friends at home. And it was good enough. But we were realizing that her hair was getting long even when it was in pigtails, so then it was coming up into her food, and her bangs were uneven and just needed fixed. And so we're like, okay, she needs a haircut. So what we did is we decided that my husband and my son were going to go do some other shopping that needed done, and Miss D and I were going to go to the mall and get our haircut. My husband drove us to the mall. We parked in the parking garage. He helped us get her wheelchair out, get her in the wheelchair. And then I was talking to him. I was like, wait, there's the moving, like you get in the door and right away there's the moving ramp to get up to the main level. It's like essentially an escalator, but ramp style. And I said, I don't even feel comfortable getting on that myself, let alone having somebody else to make sure that they're okay. And you know, like somebody else that is totally dependent and relying on me. And so he's like, it's okay. We'll walk in with you, get you up that ramp, and then we'll go. And so we did that, and that was a really good decision. And then so we're walking in. She has no problem wearing a mask. We're thankful that we just have to wear masks now and not face shields. We go and find the elevator. Thankfully there's only one other person, because normally a problem I see a lot here, specifically in the city we live in the Philippines, is people that do not need to be using the elevator at all using the elevator. I mean, we have escalators too. You know, like if I didn't have her wheelchair, I would just take her up the escalator, but she's in a wheelchair. So my only option, my only true safe option is the elevator. And so I was thankful that it was just one other person. So we get up to the floor where like the salons and stuff are, and I'm like, I have to use the restroom. And then so we went to the restroom on that floor, and it was blocked off. I was like, okay, so we'll get back on the elevator and I'll go to the other one that I know of on the floor below. So we get there, like walk in, and to my right is the accessible restroom, but it's always locked. Like you have to have somebody unlock it for you. Ridiculous. Yeah, I know. And so I tried to explain to the gentleman, like, I've got my daughter in a wheelchair and I need to use the restroom. And he was speaking Cebuano, which I do not know enough to know like what he was saying. And so I was like, okay. He's like, use this restroom, use the normal restroom. And I was like, okay. So what I ended up doing is I went in, I got myself in the stall parked her like right in front of the stall, closed the door, and hurried up and then got out. And I'm like, as I'm in there, constantly asking, "Are you okay, Dixie?" Like communicating with her just so she doesn't freak out, and so somebody knows, like, I'm with her, we're together, that kind of thing. And it wasn't right, you know, like there needs to be restrooms everywhere where you can, even if you're not disabled, like there needs to be restrooms that you can put strollers in. There needs to be restrooms that, you know, if you just need more space, there's more space. I know there's one accessible restroom on that floor somewhere, but I couldn't remember where it was. And yeah, so anyways, we got through that. Then we went back to the elevator, went up a floor, found the hair place, and here's where everything went right. They were amazing. I walked in and I said, "I need a haircut, and my daughter needs her first haircut." And they're like, "Oh, okay." And so we walk in, they move one of the salon chairs away so that we can pull up her wheelchair, and I was fiddling with the headpiece of her wheelchair to try to like move it back so that they could get access to her. And I said, "Well," excuse me, I said, "if this doesn't work, I can take her out of the wheelchair and just sit her on my lap." And they're like, "Yeah, that'll work better." So I sit her on my lap, I scooch her up enough so they can put a cape on me, and then I scooch her back, and then they put a cape on her, and they were thinking, they were doing, and it was just amazing. They put a pillow behind my back so that I'm sitting up straight, excuse me, and able to hold her up straight. They put a pillow in between us to help her sit up straight and be more comfortable. We put her feet like on the little counter thing in front of us. They put pillows under her feet, under her legs. Like, she was full on princess style. I should have asked like somebody if I could have just handed over my phone to them and had them record the whole thing. I have pictures here and there, so I'll insert those now. So for those, if you can't see the pictures, I'm sorry. It was just really cool to see the fact that they had pillows behind my back, behind her back, under her legs. We're taking such good care of her. Not only that, they had one person that like held her up, and so she didn't even have to support herself. They had their hand behind her back and in her front, and they were holding her. And then there was the lady cutting her hair, and they did it really quick. She didn't cry. It was just amazing how she was treated. They did just an amazing job. So then they get her done. They put her in her wheelchair, and they're like, "Oh no, there's so many straps." And I was like, "It's okay. You know, them how to do the main ones." And then I went to get my hair shampooed, and then they blow dried her hair. And I didn't realize this because I was hoping to get a cute picture of my hair and her hair after the fact, but they put her hair back up in pigtails, and I was like, "Oh, bummer. Oh well." So as I'm getting my hair shampooed, she started to become nervous because she's like, "Where's mom? What's going on?" And they're like, "Ma'am, she's nervous." And I was like, it's okay, I'm right here. And you know, so I'm trying to communicate with her, and the the haircut just felt amazing. Like, they massage your head as they're shampooing it, and then afterwards, while they were waiting, for the lady to come back and just double check. They rubbed my shoulders, and I'm just like, can I get a haircut every week? Like, it was amazing. Felt so good. And then afterwards I was like, would it be okay if we took some pictures together? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they were just super, super sweet. So shout out to David's at Abriza in Davao City. If you're in the area, go check them out because they are amazing. And did just a really, really good job for Miss T. So then after we got our haircut, I didn't know if my husband and my son, if they were done doing what they were doing. So I was like, okay, we'll go to the department store and go look at the toys and walk around. You know, like, my daughter doesn't get to do that very often. So I said, let's just go do that. And nobody was rude. The thing that was frustrating, the aisles, you could barely have two people walk through at the same time, let alone get a wheelchair. There's multiple times where the wheels of her wheelchair were just banging up against the side. There was just no room. And then even on the aisles that were hard to get through, they would store like extra toys in the aisles. So it was a nightmare. It wasn't fun. Like, I asked her what she wanted to go look at, and she said she wanted to go look at the baby stuff, but I couldn't even get her to the baby stuff. So it was just, that was frustrating. That part wasn't enjoyable. But the haircut was really good. The people were really sweet. And yeah, so the whole toy thing wasn't, looking at the toys wasn't the most enjoyable thing. And then I get a message from my husband that the store that my son and my husband went to, which we call SNR, which is the equivalent of Costco, they were not allowing children in still. All the malls and all the other places are letting kids in now, but SNR is not. And so he called me and was like, we weren't able to go to the store, we weren't able to do the things, we'll meet you in the toy section. So we met in the toy section and came home. I remember walking through this part of the toy section, and all I could say was, not so wheelchair friendly here, as we're banging into everything and knocking things off the shelves. It was just a complete nightmare and not fun. I wanted to show you just how hard it can be to go shopping with a person in a wheelchair when the aisles are not made wide enough. It's not the person in the wheelchair's fault, it's the people that have designed the store. And as you can see here, we are stuck. It's no longer having a problem of getting through the aisle, we are completely stuck. That's what happened today with the haircut. Again, shout out to David's at Abriza. You guys were amazing. And even they're a great example of, you don't have to have all this equipment and all these resources. They looked at the situation and said, we'll figure it out. And that's honestly all we have to do to make more things accessible. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.